Welcome back, boys. Hope everybody's doing well. We are in Outpost. As you can tell from the title of the video, it's going to be another walkthrough, talk-through guide on my positioning in solo for Outpost.
Now, you must kill it.
What I like to do off spawn then is just go straight up on the high ground. It depends on where you spawn. You can get really bad spawns on airfield, which you need to push flight control then. But obviously, since I spawn a process, and I'm just going for top height here. There is a spawn to the west, but it's the same as the other maps. You know, as you're playing, try and make a mental note of those spawns, so when you do load into the game yourself, you kind of know what direction you need to be looking in. This is an EU server, which is nice. So now that I have the high ground, I'm just looking around for any signs of players. The big rotation from processing is over here. People like to push in from dorms, go for the second red key card. So there's shots over a flight control. Just from the shots alone, it could be bots, but we never know. So going to check the connector over here between us and dorms just to see if anyone's rotating. I haven't heard any audio cues of the red card being pulled, which means top dorms might be free. So nothing's really happened. What I'll do is I'll grab the red if I'm next to one, like the dorm spawn, or maybe sometimes the flight control spawn, but I usually leave that one till a little bit later. It is quite exposed. I am playing Assassin right now, you know, just to mix it up a little. I have been using a lot of Assassin in my solo compiler attempts, so I haven't really switched over. I managed to get into the compiler room again, but died the attack just as I crossed the threshold of the door, because after I put the batteries in, you know, I kind of left it a little too long before I healed. So I hear footsteps already. In this corridor somewhere. Or this staircase, I should say. Yeah. He was waiting for me. I'm just going to use the panacea in case the guy he was shooting at, you know, tries to trade. This guy had a Miz. We'll take the mag off this weapon here. But they did nerf the D54, and I haven't really noticed much of a difference, if I'm being honest with you guys, but who knows? Maybe it is nerfed. Right, so we have a cascade. I do want to push to the other side and get some info, see if anyone else is in here. We are looking out for green cards. So Outpost, your main goal is to get into that red room on solos. That's where most of the loot is. Now, even though you have to fight a lot of AI, there are ways around it with smokes and stuff. So whether it's squads or solos, you do want to make that your main priority. So as you can see, I've already got one green and one red. We'll just check this guy's body quickly, see if he had any. I don't think he did. Right. But yeah, that's our goal. So as you're, you know, moving through the map, securing high ground, you know, taking fights, you're always keeping an eye out for those green spawns and those red spawns. Now, when it comes to the spawns themselves for the green cards, it's just going to be experience. I mean, you can watch my videos and, you know, kind of follow along where I picked them up. But it is just going to be experience. You know, you're going to learn the spawns over time. There's that second green. And we already know about another red, so I'm going to make my way up top and then cross over, just so I can see if anyone's pushing over to me from those shots. Because like every other map, audio is king. If you make noise, expect being pushed. If somebody else is making noise, you should probably expect to push them. So we don't see anything as of yet. This is probably a good time as any to go for that red up top. But Outpost is definitely the best map in Marathon for learning PvP. It's small, it's controlled, each POI, the audio, you know, it's dedicated, you know where the sound's coming from 90% of the time. So it really is the best map to learn Marathon in general. Even though it is a little bit sweatier, you'll get, you know, better gear players. It just is more controlled. You know, it's easier to rotate around compared to the likes of Dire Marsh or Perimeter. Like, as you can see, I've been running the POI to POI. I haven't encountered a turret or a tick yet. Not that you won't. But so far, so good. So we will get focused on our reds and such. Make sure we clear the lobby. I doubt it's just one guy. And then when we do that, we can start talking about each of the POIs and different positions and different rotations. So So the final raid is going to be up here. There is one more raid that you can get at the back of the map, which is over here on this. Nope, it's over here. Sorry. At the end of that little pier thing, there is another raid there, which is usually ungrabbed. So if you are stuck for a card and you can't find one, you can always push to the end of that pier to get the fourth. And these raids are permanent spawns, so they're going to be in the same place every game. I really haven't heard anything else other than that one guy at the start. So, while I do like pushing into people and clearing lobby before you do anything, I've just kind of ran around the map and haven't heard anything. So, not that I think lobby is clear, but I do think it's probably time I start, you know, getting into what I need to do, which is opening this up. For solos then, when you open this door, what you want to do is kill all the bots inside. So it'll spawn 4 bots. Or 3. Then you just want to hack it.
Engaged.
And then once that's done, what you want to do is just run away. So for me, I'm going to rotate the dorms. So you hack it and you basically just leave to go to another entrance. It just avoids you standing there and fighting bots. The amount of people I just kill, you know, walking up on them, trying to get through that door. And they're fighting bots, they're already weak, there's too much noise, they're distracted, and I just pick them up and then take their shit. So what you want to do is open it and then go to a different pinwheel entrance. That means you can go up, you know, uncontested. And again, no audio of other players at the moment. You can loot the other POIs for stuff in this map, but, you know, I find the most profitable way of playing Outpost is doing what I'm doing now. Picking off a few players, getting your cards, and then making your way up. Alright, we're gonna head up now. So I will just show you guys how I do Red Room, and then we'll start looking at the rest of the map. So you will have to kill the initial bots in here. You can't exactly skip the whole area. Turret. If you go up top and go to the back here, there's going to be a disable reinforcements button. You just want to press it because the alarm's really annoying and it'll keep spawning people in. So you just press that there on the wall. If you're a recon, I would scan just before starting your Red Room, just so you know who's in the area, if it's, you know, safe to start. So, pop it. And then go into this little side room here. Now, I like to fight the bots, but you don't really have to. You know, there's no real need to fight them. And I'll show you that. So if you're an assassin, what you want to do is use your smoke. If you're not an assassin, you can either bring some smoke grenades or find some smoke grenades. It's really up to you.
Time to hunt.
So once the door's open, you want to come here and then you want to throw down your smoke.
The shadowed path.
And then you can pretty much loot in peace. Like, there you go, another smoke grenade. And we're just looting around.
Cover out.
Oh, 1 key, a reflex coil, that is pretty cool, we'll take that. And then you just want to dip out of there once you get all your loot. Straight after that room, what I do is I run in the drone wing. I'll hit that claymore every time. I recommend you do as well, it's very smart plays. But what you're doing is you're just going to the end of drone wing to hit one of the command buttons now. If you're somebody who needs loot, somebody who needs equipment, implants, bubbles, I would loot the entire wing. Drone wing and
15
command
minutes
wing
remain.
and destroyed wing all have insane loot for somebody who's, you know, kind of mid to low tier gear. You'll get bubbles, you get implants, weapons as well. There's a lot of weapons in Outpost. But we'll just press that button there that's at the top of the stairs. That's a permanent spawn yet again. We'll just take a look at the chest card so you can see. The crash card, I should say. Quick little heal. And you can check commanders for keys and such. I usually go to the left here, even though the button's on the other side. This is going to be your most uncontested route on the left. There are strong boxes in each of the wing. I did, you know, not pick up the last one, but here's one of the strong boxes. As you can see, purple shields, other good stuff you can get in here. Bubble. And then the other button's going to be here. Again, if you have smoke grenades still and you're not somebody who wants to fight a lot of bots as solo, so you did bring extra smokes or you were picking them up, you can also smoke grenade this section as well.
Stealth engaged.
What you do is you just go straight here through the office, through the couple doors, then the double door. The strong box will be on the left or the right. There you go, you can see it. Pop your smoke. Another purple shield. Anybody was asking me about purple shields, I mean, Outpost is very good for them. And then you just run away. Save yourself a lot of time. Now obviously you do a little bit more looting than I did. You pick up some more stuff here and there and you will, you know, run out of time. But I have been saving time on purpose just to show you guys a few things. There you go. Lots of weapons you can get.
Camo filter engaged.
So in the main section of this like circle area, sometimes you get an exfil here that you can use a master on. And then these little side rooms, so there'll be one room there, one room there, one room here, can take you to different POIs on the map. So this should take us to processing if I remember. You know, plenty of fights that can go down, so you're going to have to come in from different ways. You can come up through this main door, but then again you're on the low ground to this staircase, this office, and up here as well, so I wouldn't recommend that push. A lot of the time when I'm pushing in from dorms, I'll come in through this window, through that box. That way I have this cover here, so I can head glitch across to the other side. I can head glitch to this little room here, and then obviously I have hide on anyone that's in this down main area. So this is a big, you know, recommended push for me right here. On the flip side then, if you do have control of this building and you want to push into the other one, there's a few things you can do. You can come out this side door, which is quite well covered and, you know, not really expected. There's also, a, you know, quite a short distance from here to here, which if anyone is playing this roof, you can kind of just slide past before they know what hit him, you know, and start challenging. Another one is you can come up this staircase here, or you can come up this inner staircase, jump on this pipe, and then you can jump across and vault. Now, only do this if you have plenty of agility and you're quite well practiced in doing that jump itself. And then you'll be able to get up here and play the ultimate high ground, because if there is a fighting process and if there is more than one team, more than two teams, the main area you want to get is this high ground here. You can shell staircase, you can shell here, you can shell here, and you can see if anyone's pushing from flight. So you want to get up here as, you know, as much as you can on these processing fights, and obviously check this doorway here for any pushes. But that's pretty much going to be processed, and it is a big area. There's plenty of other places you can have fights in there. I mean, I've had them down low, I've had them at the very end. But it's all about, you know, managing the high ground and playing the teams that you can play. Another popular area on the map is flight control. You know, as you've seen at the start of the video, when I rotated, I came over here and I hit this staircase. That just allows me to have the high ground instantly. So if I come up here, I'm already on the roof. I can see back here if anyone's playing roof, if anyone's fighting over there. And then if I do want to enter the building, I'm coming in from that high angle, which gave me the advantage over this guy earlier. In flight control, you can also rotate. Oh, he must have killed the guy down here. You can also rotate to the other side through the basement as well. What I like to do when I'm having fights in flight control then is if I have, you know, if I'm taking a lot of damage here, or there's a lot of people just above me, I'll literally just come down to the basement and run down to the other side, jump up top again, and then reshell from another direction. So you just come through here all the way to the other end. And then if you look at this tile up here and you shoot it, drop and jump. Oh, usually a little bit better than that. Drop and jump, and then you can shell from the other side. So flight control is this one long corridor, but if you utilize your rotations and you know where teams are and you keep hitting them from different angles, you can usually win those close encounters. A lot of times teams will push you into this back area here. I wouldn't recommend getting stuck back here, but you'll end up playing these long angles. You'll end up having to chow the guy on the roof, and they'll just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you either fall out or you get knocked. So try not to get trapped as much as you can in this POI. Airfield, again, is not exactly a popular POI. You're not going to get many fights in Airfield. There is that warden spawn that's, you know, been put over there now. But Airfield's just a shit spawn. It's not really a big rotational area. It's not really a big fight area. You're not going to find people in here looting. It's going to be quiet most of the game, but if you do find yourself in here, there's a couple of vents there and there that can get you, you know, towards that locked room area, which is probably the most likely place you're going to find anyone if you do find someone. But again, Airfield isn't going to be too much of a concern for you on Outpost. Over to the next POI then is Orientation. Orientation's a big one because you have Destroyed Wing up here, which, you know, this attracts a lot of campers. They like to sit up on that balcony. They like to sit down here. So if you're coming from flight control, they'll be shooting you from up there. And if anyone's on the roof on Orientation, either camping or fighting, what I like to do is, if I'm coming from flight, I'll hit this bridge here, or I'll come under from Airfield, and I'll jump up on the left side here. So you just jump up on these boxes and push from the roof. I never push from interiors. I always try and push from exteriors. Once you get up here then, you can shell the other side. You can play this spot, or even just here, and then get headshots. I knock people all the time up and destroyed from here. There is a hole in the middle on the roof that allows you to get into the upper floor. Like I said before in other videos, just play the audio, find out where they are and know when to push just off audio, but you can access the entire upper floor from the roof here. With Destroyed Wing then, Destroyed Wing is accessed from this side of the roof. You just do a couple jump ups and you're there. I try not to push Destroyed Wing against other teams unless I have a knock or some sort of damage information. But if you get up here early game, it's a pretty much, you know, dodge spot. You can just shoot across half the map. If you get knocked, you're going to get res most of the time. It's just a ratty position that a lot of people take, especially in ranked Outpost. Moving on then, one of the most popular places to have a fight in Orientation is this area underneath me. You'll get people in Destroyed Wing challenge you, you'll get people on the opposite side of the roof challenge you, you'll get people coming from dorms challenge you. In here, people like to camp quite a bit because this area back here, you know, you can't access it. It's very high cover. But you'll have a lot of fights from this bench across to the main area. You'll have some fights on this staircase from people trying to push under. You'll have some fights here. What I would do is just play as much cover as you can when you're inside Orientation and make sure your teammates aren't selling by overextending. Like if you are fighting a team over here and one of your teammates starts pushing past this corridor and they're you know, they're open to this door, they're open to that door over there, you know, your teammates need to play tight. You need to communicate well. Like inside Orientation, you can die within half a second just from, you know, 2 steps in the wrong direction. So make sure everybody's playing tight and communicating well. But other than that, you know, as a solo, you're just moving around playing your audio. If you are walking around in there, you're doing a quest or you're looting or whatever, just make sure you're going cover to cover and you're not walking around too much exposed, because people can play a lot of rat spots in there and in most of the POIs on Outpost.
5 minutes from now.
Where'd you guys come from? Over to dorms then. Dorms is probably like the most likely place that you're gonna die on Outpost. I don't know why, don't ask me why, but it's one of the most contested multi-team hotspots in the map itself. Roof is the biggest contested area. You can access roof from this staircase or the staircase on the other side. I will go show you that quickly. But it will be contested, it will be multi-teams. You can have a team on this, you know, upper floor, you can have a team in showers, you can have a team down low, and a team on the roof. Like, countless times I've had 3 or 4 teams, you know, at this location on Outpost. So here's the other staircase you can hit. And the cascade isn't up and you are fighting those teams here. You want to play this roof as much as you can. Rapid roof allows you to shoot down into those areas that I was talking about. You can access the other staircase from the roof. So if somebody's down there fighting and they know you're over here, you can just take the staircase and rotate across the roof and then challenge from here. It is just trying to control the roof. You know, the people that are playing the roof are going to be more than likely the team that wins the fight. There are a lot of hop-ups to this. So this crate here is a popular one where you jump up on the side and you can shell the roof. It's quite risky because of the glass here. People can see you coming. Another one not a lot of people use is this canopy area here. If you get up on this canopy and you jump up on the side, then you can hop up and chow from here. Another one people use, like you can literally chow this roof from every direction. Another one people use is coming across from orientation, jump up on this crate, jump up here, and then they'll push out left to try and catch you off guard, because most of the time you're not going to be looking over here. And then I'll show you one more at the back. So if you're pushing over from flight control, you just jump up on this barrier, hit the mantle, then you turn around and there's like a dip in the pipe. You just jump into that dip and hug the wall, and then you can jump up and shell. I think it's time we got out of here, guys.
We're ready. Our exit is waiting.
But yeah, that's going to be it for Outpost. Obviously, like the other maps I've mentioned before, I've probably left a lot of stuff out there. There are a lot of tips and tricks to this map, but that is like the basic fundamentals of the positioning and the different POIs. As a solo, as you watch me play, I'm kind of slowly managing POIs. I rely a lot on my audio, and I rely a lot on high ground as well. Like in Marathon, you can have a 1v1 fight with somebody, you have more shields, you have more health than them, you know, you might have a better weapon than them, and you'll just, you know, you're going to destroy them every time. But regardless of that, you're always going to try and put yourself in that advantageous position. You always want to have some, you know, ratty angle, you want to have some great position. You just want to make sure you win the fight every time, no matter how stacked the odds are in your favor. Okay guys, that's going to be it for our Outpost positioning solo guide. I hope some of that information helps you guys navigate Outpost in your solo games. Maybe you don't play a lot of Outpost, maybe you're working your way up to it in terms of gear. Maybe you're going to play as a squad. Some of that information will carry over into squads like I mentioned before, but that's everything that I could think of. Obviously I'm doing it in the format of just speaking as I play, so any information I give I really do hope it's useful, but obviously leave any comments or queries down below. But other than that boys, I am going to bounce. As always, I will see you in the next one, and peace.